What's going on, everybody? This is Afro Think Tank. Today I want to talk about Pan-Africanism and pro-blackness and how there are a lot of former Pan-Africans and people who are formerly pro-black who are no longer pro-black or Pan-African because they feel like it wasn't working at the time. They feel like when they put their effort in, they feel like they weren't getting anything out of it, or that nobody appreciated them, or that it was just too daunting, right? It was just too hard. And some of them have moved over to other things, right? Other movements that seem to be easier to operate in, easier, or that another ideology that they can slide into that would take the place of being pro-black or Pan-African, right? Some people run away from their identity. They run away from the war because they don't want to fight it, or they feel like they're not getting that pat on the back that they're looking for. And like, you got a lot of them. Like, you got people like Tariq Nasheed, right? Tariq Nasheed was once a Pan-African, right? Who was very pro-black, right? But, he needed to make money. And I guess he must have figured out there's not really a lot of money in this Pan-African thing. So he had to switch his thing up, and to figure out how to make money while still kind of sticking around in the pro-black space. Get on, bro. But he once was a Pan-African. And then you got various other ones who were also former Pan-Africans who also have decided that, oh, it's not going to work because they didn't get enough pats on the back, to satisfy them for all the hard work that they believe that they've done, right? And they all say a lot of the same things. They'll say, man, F this pro-black stuff, man. I'm tired, man. Our people are done. Like, when I hear people say, oh, man, the black community, we ain't never going to make it, I just hear weakness. Or when I hear, oh man, the black community's dead, I'd be like, no, all I hear is a person that's weak, right? When I hear people talk disparagingly about their own people, almost like they just threw their hands up and gave up. A lot of people just throw their hands up and has given up because they thought that the fight was gonna be, faster, or that they would get more pats in the back for their effort, right? They would get more validation, for their effort. But what a lot of people don't understand in this battle of liberation for our people, that it's a generational battle. Meaning, if you're truly pro-black and you're truly Pan-African, and Pan-African mean a global black, Pan-African is just global blackness, recognizing our, our connectivity throughout the world as being people from Africa, right? And working together economically and socially. You got a lot of people who tried early when they were young, they may have ran into other so-called Pan-Africans or pro-blacks who stabbed them in the back, right? Or maybe somebody took too much attention, or maybe they did something and people didn't put in their fair share. And the thing is, when it comes to any type of movement, there's always going to be people within that movement that don't have your best interest at heart. You can love your people, but it don't mean every individual person in your life that look like you is gonna be on your side or be family or is gonna have your best interest at heart. Like me, I'm unapologetically black. I, without conditions, love black people. With no conditions. I don't need conditions to love and fight for my black person. I don't need conditions to love the black woman. I don't need them to be perfect in order for me to fight for them. I don't need black men to be perfect in order for me to fight for them, right? But at the same time, I'm not naive and think that every single black person, black woman, and black man that I meet is deserving of my defense, or deserving of my help, or deserving of anything at all. Because a lot of people that look like me are as evil as the palm color people, right? I'm not naive enough to think that, we're gonna live in a utopia where everybody's gonna separate themselves in color coordination and everything's gonna be peaceful. That's not the way the world works, right? And I understand as a Pan-African that this is a generational fight, all right? For all my religious people, remember, Moses never made it to the land of milk and honey. He knew he wasn't going to make it to the land of milk and honey, right? But did he give up? Now we're talking about the story, right? The story, right? Did he give up? No, he kept going, right? But he knew he would never benefit from his hard work. He would never benefit because of the choices he made, obviously. But the whole thing is he would never benefit from that thing, right? And the thing is, a lot of us pro-black Pan-Africans, we will not benefit from the liberation. We will not benefit from the work that we put in. Some of us, we may come on here and we speak on these platforms and we talk, and we hoping that the change will happen right now, right? But change happens incrementally. Change happens in small doses, little pieces that connect to another piece, that connects to another piece, that connects to more pieces, that creates a big thing, right? Over time. It may be 100 years before we get to where we want to be. As a matter of fact, there's plenty of black people, including myself, that never thought that even black people worldwide would be making the moves that they're making right now. That will be unapologetically looking for their liberation right now. This is something that we thought was going to happen in our children's generation, because we thought that the white power structure was just that strong that it was nothing that we can do about it, that their heads up, that the leg up that they got was just too insurmountable for us. But guess what? The greatness of blackness that's always been on display in history, that's in display in all the museums around the world, is still alive and well in us right now. And we're displaying that greatness as we have participated in developing the technologies that will give us black people a leverage and a leg up to take ourselves to put ourselves back in the place that we belong, right? So as a Pan-African, and if you want to be pro-black and Pan-Af, you got to understand, you may go out here and do this work. You may make 1,000 videos. It don't mean somebody's going to pat you on the back. It don't mean that any of your work will get recognized by a vast majority and somebody going to make a big-ass statue of you, and then, you know, you're going to be like the next Dr. Martin Luther King. Dr. Martin Luther King didn't know he was going to be Dr. Martin Luther King. Malcolm X didn't know he was going to be Malcolm X. A lot of these people who are legends in the history and the revolution of black people at the time didn't know. They were just doing what they felt was right. And then after they died or was killed later on, long after they gone, then all of a sudden they were recognized for the things that they've done, and they were put on a pedestal of recognition throughout with the community, right? So a lot of the my true Pan-Africans know you do the work for the love, you do it for the culture, right? I put out tons of videos, and I know I may not be getting paid for these videos, right? I may not be making buku bucks for these videos, but guess what? The videos are made and they're out there. If something happened to me and I die tomorrow, guess what? Well, my videos are there. In 50 years, guess what? My videos gonna be there. And maybe in 60 years, somebody gonna be pulling old videos of this thing called YouTube, and they'll be archiving my videos and playing it on a new Web 4, Web 5 platform, like we do now with the Dr. Yorks and the Clarks and the Diops, you know, and all our legendary old scholars that was going to hotels and had to physically go to places to see other black people to teach in person. They didn't have the internet. They didn't have access. I got more access to people than all those legends did, just by turning on my phone. That's how much access we have to each other, right? And I know that when I make my videos, some of the videos that resonate with the people I need to resonate to, it will get to them eventually, right? And I don't need a pat on the back. I don't need somebody to say, oh, Afro Think Tank, good job, right? Because I'm strong and I'm a warrior, and I know, like, and live real life warrior. I'm a warrior I'm a real warrior and a warrior for this too. I've been a warrior for America since I was 17. And I never stopped being a warrior when I came back. I'm just a warrior for my people specifically now, right? And I understand that when you go to war, war is ugly, it's dirty. The people you fight with ain't always on your side. And when the battle's over, sometimes you got to fight the person that you was just fighting with. Sometimes your ally end up being your enemy, and sometimes your enemy end up being your ally. It all depends on what the situation is. Situation dictates, right? And sometimes the war ain't gonna end no time soon. You just do your part. You do your part where you are geographically, where you located. You do your part as best as you know how, and it will resonate with somebody. It will resonate with somebody. Somebody will be inspired. But you know, but you got the weak ones, and you always hear the weak ones. They're the ones who always say the black community can't do anything. The first thing they say is the black community can't do nothing. The black community don't have, we got a community. If black people didn't have a community, why is the whole world paying to be a part of our community? Why is the whole world celebrating and pretending to be amongst our community? Why is it that when the whole world gets to be a part of our community, it's one of the greatest experiences they ever had? So don't tell me we don't have a community. Just because we have a sub-community, a subculture of hip-hop that is damaging to the community, a subculture of a genre of music that we have created amongst many of musics and many of cultures that we have, even in America as black people. We have many of different cultures that don't get highlighted because it's not as sexy and it's not as sellable to the world. But even though the world enjoys many other parts of the culture of African Americans and Africans in the grand scheme of things, African Americans have all sorts of different types of culture that don't get highlighted because the people, when they want to highlight the degenerate shit, the hip hop, the drugs, the prostitution, all the strippers done left the strip club, and you give them a mic, now they're all rappers. All the strippers left the strip club, now they're all rappers. All the thugs and gangsters ain't selling weed and cocaine, now they selling the bullshit on the mic. They took the most degenerate shit in our communities, and they put it on a pedestal, and they said, this is black culture right here. That's all black culture. That's all it is. And everybody else eat it up. Black exploitation. We've been exploited for 500 years every which way from Sunday. You know? And that's just how it is. And so you got people that walk around that say we don't got black culture. You got people that walk around that say we are inherently not intelligent and that we don't know what's going on. You got people that walk around and they keep on, they look like us, they tell us we don't know what we're doing when it comes to politics. Like we don't know what's best for us. Like we too stupid and we don't have the situational awareness to understand what situation we are in on this planet. Like we don't know. You got black people who walk around and they inherently put us in an inferior position, and when they compare us with everybody else, they just can't help it. They don't know how to do anything else. They can't even see themselves being above anything else. They can't even see themselves as black excellent. They can't even see their community as being excellent. All they want to do is concentrate and focus on the degenerate shit within our communities, as if all communities don't have degenerate shit. But you know what other communities do? They pretend like that shit don't exist. They don't highlight it. They don't celebrate it. But we celebrate ours. We highlight ours. The thing is, we smart enough to know the messed up shit in our communities, and we do talk about it. But the problem is we can't stop all the other people from enjoying and celebrating the shit we need to be getting rid of, because they're so intoxicated with us. They're so enamored with us. There's so much money to be made when it comes to us and our culture, you know, all this great, wonderful, rich culture that they can't stop talking about, like our soul food. They love to downplay our soul food, as if our soul food is some inherently nasty, disgusting, unhealthy food, when in actuality, soul food is nothing but African food modified in America. Soul food is actually very healthy. It's the oils we're forced to use by the white people that's disgusting, that's unhealthy. It's their food that's disgusting, that's unhealthy. It's not African food that's disgusting, it's unhealthy. Soul food is the most desired food in America. Go to any international dinner. Go to any international dinner ever, and you'll see the first food is gone is the food that's made by the African American. I don't care who food you put up there. I don't care who food you put up there. African American food is gone first. Period. Before anybody's food. All the shit they talk about our food. People like to say we ain't got shit, but they be the first ones to come get our shit. So don't give me that. So all I'm saying, if you're going to be Pan-African, understand that you're not always going to get a pat on the back. People are not always going to see your view as positive. But if you're real, if you're real and you have conviction and morals and you're willing to die on your shield of belief, then you just do it for the love of your people. And you let the people decide whether you were a good leader, whether the things that you said was good. You don't pat yourself on the back and talk to yourself in third person like you the shit. No, be humble, right? Check your ego to the side. Keep fighting the good fight if that's the fight you want to fight. And let history take its course and let people decide what kind of person you are. All right. Anyway, if you're going to be a Pan-African pro-black, it's for life. All right. It's not a game. It's for life. This war is for life. So you're going to do it from now until you die. And then somebody else is going to take the reins after you lay down and retire. All right. Anyway, that's all I got to say. It's Afro Think Tank. Learn something, teach something. I'm out.